Salutations, Utopians. Hope y'all all had a great weekend. I know that technically tomorrow's a holiday as well. Hope you're making the most of it, catching up on rest, getting ahead in the work schedule. Either way, hope all things favor you. With that being said, in light of it being the NBA All Star weekend, my mind's been a little bit on some of the draft prospects. And I've noticed the discourse in regards to Bronny James, son of LeBron James over there at USC. A lot of people seem to be irritated or disturbed by the media attention Bronny gets and the fact that the attention doesn't warrant the game. I want to make some important reminders. First and foremost, it's a business first. And the biggest free agent this offseason by a landslide is still LeBron James. LeBron's business acumen is off the charts. Every time he's been a free agent, he's always had this contract lengthened at the exact pinpoint to where he honors his contract and yet keeps his options open. Very few can rival it. Probably Darrell Revis, who was signing 1 year deals and getting his yearly, basically getting franchised, but to wherever he wanted to go on a year-to-year basis, is the only athlete I can think of that's ever had their business their business affairs this pinpoint accurate. And this offseason is no different because his option expires 2 days after the NBA draft, which is the draft that Bronny James, his son, is eligible for. Furthermore, I'd like to point people's attention towards the CBA agreement. With the new CBA, players, the cap is shrinking. So when a franchise has a marquee guy making $50 million a year, i.e. Kawhi, i.e. LeBron, and the cap is shrinking, that means your scouting department is going to have to work overtime, and a budget needs to be allocated like it's never had done before. Hence why you've seen at the trade deadline second round picks being exchanged and valued at a premium. I think it's very telling. Let's point to people's attention towards last offseason. I know Dame Lillard got a lot of attention in terms of the trade because of the trade to Milwaukee. But I thought something was very telling last year. Now, without context, just on face value, Marcus Smart, who was a defensive player of the year but is still a guard and considered to be a 3-and-D guy, he never really got to develop his point guard skills the way he needed to, and quite frankly stayed a year a little too long, which forced him more into a shooting guard role, not to mention he was drafted into a situation where there was so much depth already and primary ball handlers that it made it almost impossible for him to mature in that role as a point guard. But as a 3-and-D player, Marcus Smart commanded more on the open trade market, which, like I said, without context, one, Boston Celtics are known to fleece people. Crazy as it's kept, not only did the Celtics get Porzingis last year, they also got 2 first-round picks. That's ridiculous. Not to mention take it back to even further than before. The Celtics always get away with this. They were able to get 2 first-ballot Hall of Famers in the same offseason during the Danny Ainge administration when they were able to land Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen. With that being said, Bradley Beal was literally a mustache hair short of being the 2020-2021 NBA leading scorer at 31.3 points per game. Steph just beat him out by averaging 32. And basically it was a bunch of swaps for second round picks and prospects who couldn't seem to get on the right path under the Golden State regime that basically fizzled out. Guys who are basically considered G League rotational players at this juncture. Furthermore, fast forward to this trade deadline, And another guy who I deem to be a 3 and D, plays the game quality, and actually ironically has a similar kind of skill set, Alex Caruso, to Bronny, was viewed as too expensive for intrigued GMs on opposing teams. A lot of teams felt they could have used an Alex Caruso. Maybe weren't necessarily an Alex Caruso away from winning a championship, but definitely could use him as a key cog in a rotational lineup involving an NBA championship worthy team. And no team could seem to muster up the assets in order to get Chicago moved enough to want to change addresses for Mr. Caruso. Bronny has exceptional leaping ability, who utilizes his leaping ability to get block shots. He can spot up, shoot the three. He knows where to be, when to be. He understands V-cuts. He understands catch and shoot scenarios. He's not a catch and scan type of guy. These are the kind of players you need when stars are commanding $50 million in a complimentary piece. And when you really do the math, the best free agent who, not only because of skill-wise, but money and what he garners with his lifetime Nike deal, and the fact that he exponentially raises the value anywhere he goes, literally changed the whole city of Cleveland's economy, literally rose the Lakers out of the ashes. I don't think people remember the change of hands of ownership twice since Dr. Buss has perished. The Lakers were in shambles. Steve Ballmer is playing for keeps. He's the wealthiest owner in the NBA and won overall sports. Got the Clippers Stadium into a dome in Hawthorne, built up in record speed. He's coming for blood. I love the Dwayne Wade analogy about Jordan. We can keep saying Jordan is better than LeBron, but the next generation is coming, and they don't care about history, and nobody really does their research like that out of these young folks, Gen Zers, quote unquote. Same can be said about the Lakers. LA is eventually going to be up for grabs, and it's a what can you do for me now lately type of world we live in. And the Clippers are the team that just plays ball. You live in LA, you don't have to do the whole media thing. The Lakers are, there's a whole charade that goes with it that not every player wants to do. Live in LA, play ball, get paid a bunch of money, go home. Lakers, prestige, cameras, Hollywood, all the works. So when you factor in the idea that Jeannie Buss needs LeBron at this stage, and the number one bargaining is who's got the draft pick, and don't get me wrong, there might be some Joey Porter type of behind the scenes manipulation, because I always tell people from last year's NFL draft, I thought it was very strange that a cornerback of his son's caliber slid all the way to the 20s, right into the former team. I'm not going to use the word alma mater, that's more of a collegiate term, but his former team that he gave his heart and soul to for well over a decade, I believe. You land his son perfectly and he gives you all pro performance. You're telling me all these teams were wrong about him? No. So I'm sure there will be some behind the scenes manipulation, don't get me wrong. With that being said, however, Bronny James, this is the new NBA. Role players who know their spots are more valuable than prima donna and divas who think they're franchise cornerstone guys. Those are very reserve limited spots. Okay? People used to think I was crazy when I used to say, give me a Pat Beverly over a James Harden. Because I know what Pat Beverly is. This was back in the Houston days. James gives you this huge, massive production, but then falls short of a superstar or a megastar among the likes of a Kobe or LeBron when you need it the most. With Pat, he's a complementary piece. Those are just as intricate and crucial as a franchise starter and all-time great player. Miami's first season fizzled out. Second year they came around, okay, let me get James Posey. Let me get Shane Battier, a Jason Williams who knew his place. Those things are where the differential is created. And now with the cap crunched, teams are going to start looking for guys who have immediate definitive roles so that teams can capitalize on their marquee megastar window for championship runs. Not going to be able to assemble superstar teams like the Warriors did once upon a time. Those days are over. Get lucky to max out at 2 megastars, and then everyone else is a role player. You get what's going on here? So when Bronny, yes, might be a little bit of a media buzz that might not quite be warranted, but when you attach it to the biggest name in free agency, it definitely has its place in sports. That Griffey moment, father and son, farewell tour, a lot of things that go into it that's beyond the physical realm that people are not accounting for right now. Alright, Utopians, hope you enjoyed this little TED Talk. I just wanted to clear things up because people kind of get the business side forgotten about a lot of times. I'll try to do better next time. Hope all goes well for you this week. Global out. Peace.